Speaking of touring and music, let's introduce our surprise guest with whom you toured together, Aevum. Hey, Lucille.
Hello,
Lucille.
Nice
I
to
hope
meet you.
Hello. I hope I said Aevum correctly. Aevum.
Yeah, anything is alright. We said that. Aevum. It worked. Thank you, guys.
So, can you introduce yourself in a few words for those who missed all interviews and with you?
Yeah, of course. I'm Lucille, and I'm the singer of the Italian band Aevum, and we had a chance to do the European tour with Orphaned Land in 2018, if that's correct. And it's really a honor for me to be here as a surprise guest. I'm here to, poke you guys. Hello. How are you doing?
Good, and you?
Great to see you, Lucille. How's the band is doing? How are you all?
Yeah, we are doing good. We are split all over Italy and Europe, but we keep going. Even during the pandemic, yeah, we are making new music, new stuff, because we don't want to, stop. We can't.
Poker Face, correct?
Yeah, we recorded a cover of a pop song because our label had a nice idea during, the lockdown to ask all of their bands to do a cover of a pop song to make a compilation, the hard pop compilation. Okay. And we chose Poker Face by Lady Gaga, and it's coming out in 5 days. And that was really fun because all the bands recorded those songs during the lockdown.
Okay, that would be interesting.
That was a way, to make something out of the lockdown.
So it's Friday releasing?
Yeah, I think. Let me check.
You sure?
What day is it today?
Sunday. It's Sunday.
Yeah, it's Friday.
I think that, by the way, Friday is the official day of releases in the music business. So a lot of songs and albums are going out on Fridays. This is like some way they decided. I don't know why, but so it's a good.
I wanted to ask you why, but you don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Because it's Friday weekend, so people, I don't know, something new for the next week.
Maybe work is getting laid back and you can listen to stuff. Maybe they figured out maybe they figured out people listening to more music on Fridays. It's probably they have their own reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, how's the situation in Italy with pandemic?
Oh, well, it's getting better. People are getting, vaccinated, and we can go out again. Still using the mask, but there is no curfew.
Okay.
So slowly going back to normal, if we can say that. But yeah. What about you guys?
There's a live music? No.
Yeah, it's coming back, but it's a bit weird because it's open air and you can't stand. You have to sit down, and obviously a few
like in Greece.
Yeah, but
in Israel it's completely finished, Lucille. Israel is free.
Really?
I hope that it's not going to change, but we played just 10 days ago in front of 2,500 people, and
I was listening about
without masks and without PCR negative, because most of the country was vaccinated, and the amount of people who were infected was dropping so fast. I'm not a fan of vaccines and stuff, but it worked, and the country is free. everybody is free, and now they even took the mask in public places. It's fun. I mean, you go into a taxi, you don't have to put a mask. You go into a restaurant, anywhere, you don't need to do it. So,
yeah,
it's a message of hope, because I think that it will eventually come to Italy, Dublin. There's no other way that humanity is not going to be out of it. We played the show. It felt like COVID never happened. It was like we forgot that it was just there a minute ago, and I think that you countries are next. So it's a good message. Keep hanging on until this will get back to normal. It will.
Yeah, it will. It sounds, strange, because they are things that should be normal, but we are not used to them anymore in some way. So yeah, I know we're gonna be there.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
But speaking about tours and so on, can you, Kobi, give a bit more background how the tour with Aevum came together?
Well, basically, if I remember correctly, we were looking for bands to join us on tour, and I think they contacted us, and it was as simple as that. And the natural way for us would always been to take bands from the Middle East, but there aren't so many. Touring with bands from Europe, it's always such a great adventure. And of course, it was a great adventure, tour together. But it sometimes happened when the band is contacting us, or we're in touch with this band, like I told you with Blind Guardian. We knew Marcus, and Marcus went and told his management and guys, hey, I want this band on the tour, and this is how it happened. So bands hooking up together and hitting the stage together, it's always great, because we turn into, for a while, for a few weeks, we turn into a family. We live together on a bus, and this is an experience that not many people can tell. So always great.
Speaking about bands from your country, I remember that we met also Subterranean Masquerade. And that was really interesting and cool, because it's not so common to listen to those kinds of bands in Europe.
Yeah, that's true.
It was really nice.
Great band. A great band.
Yeah.
What kind of band? Which genre?
It's a progressive rock with oriental elements. I would say that it's in the genre of Orphaned Land, but it's also similar to Porcupine Tree. It's very eclectic, from growlings to melodic. Very interesting stuff, really. Great band, and many of our fans really love them as well.
Cool.
Amazing. And I wonder then, the funny stories, Lucille, any?
Not really funny, because we were at the beginning of the show, and so after we would watch all the shows and get drunk.
So she doesn't remember.
That's the funny.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, and you were sleeping as well in one show in Arnhem when I was searching for you. That was sad.
But I have to say that touring is really exhausting. Kobi can tell.
Yeah, so that's the reason you're drunk and excited.
You know that
not always drunk.
You know that because we were playing the main show, and it was the longest show. We used to play around 90 minutes or 75 minutes every night. I always have a lot of struggling to maintain my voice. But sometimes we play 6 shows a week, and so maybe Lucille was drinking, but I wasn't drinking a sip, because it's not that I'm not drinking. I love drinking beers. I love drinking whiskey. I really love Uzo. Nick, we talked about it.
Yes.
But when you're on tour, the show is ending. I have to go to bed because
Yeah.
you cannot change these strings over here. You cannot set up this thing. You can warm, you can do whatever, but if it's fucked up, and I have moments where it's completely crashed.
It happens.
And if I talk and if I start to drink, I also smoke.
Oh,
If I do these 3, I will never survive 6 shows. So Lucille is right. It's very exhausting, and you have to be very professional. So every night the show is ending, I'm not partying. I'm the first one in bed, and I really hate it. But I have a show the day after, and so I don't party.
Yeah, that's totally true.
That's really it's really a pity, but I don't know, maybe some other bands who do only growling or can maintain their voice, but for me, I sing in so many ways and I always feel that my voice is broken after 3 or 4 shows. I'm not the party guy on the tour.
Well, that's true because you only have one instrument. I obviously was kidding because I also sing opera, so I know very well what you are talking about, and that's so important. And the singers, they are the party killers because they always have to, stay silent, drink tea, drink a lot of water, and so on.
Exercise.
Tea with ginger, it's my nightmare,
Oh,
ginger and honey. It's like Jesus. This is not rock and roll, but this is the truth behind rock and roll.
Tea with honey is nice.
You drink tea and honey. You're like a grandpa on tour.
Tea, honey, and a bit of tsipuro, if you know.
Oh yeah, tsipuro.
So no one has really
honey and tsipuro is the best.
I agree.
Well, there is a fun story, but before the tour, we actually did like a week of athletic preparation for headbanging because we are all, a bit old, as we say, and they were all like, "Oh, my neck." You're doing that, every night, so maybe.
So what, you were like swirling your head for like 1 hour?
Sort of. Like, stretching and yoga.
All of this stuff, backstage stuff. Kobi, I have question from Alex. I don't know what is this. I cannot read.
Alex is just asking in Hebrew, Kobi, what's up? What's going on?
Oh, okay.
We learned a new word.
Alex, it's a very deep question. It's. I will have to think about my answer, but I would say that everything is sababa. Sababa means great in slang, in Arabic. In Hebrew.
Sababa.
Sababa.
Like Ola Kala.
Ola Kala. Yeah, it's like Ola Kala. Exactly.
Cool.
Amazing. So, I'm wondering now, Lucille, can you tell your favorite Orphaned song? And Kobi, afterwards, you can tell your favorite Aevum song.
Well, I won't be offended if you don't remember any of our songs, but I absolutely love All Knowing I. That's my favorite.
Oh.
I am really embarrassed to say that I cannot remember a name.
No, don't worry.
I'm sorry, Lucille.
That's not a problem, really.
I'm sorry.
Google. You can Google.
Yeah. I was thinking about to escape to Google and search something, but I felt that I have no time because Lucille was very fast answering.
So, Lucille, maybe second favorite song.
I don't remember. Sorry, with the title, I'm terrible. I just put the album on. But I remember when All Knowing I was live, and I was like...
Yeah, people really love this song because it's very emotional. And
yeah, that's very emotional. And you sang that wonderfully, and it was very inspiring.
Thank you. Yeah, also Idan's guitar solo is like very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm really ashamed that I don't remember a name. Shit, it's really...
Don't worry, I will tell you some songs later, and then you listen to them and tell me what you...
Have you actually, Kobi, heard the new album Multiverse?
No.
With like a blue woman?
No, I actually the last year I was so much out of time to listen to music, and I was taking the time to be a full father, because I was, in a way, I was so afraid to because I became a father in 2019, and I was so afraid that I will go on tours and I will miss so much of the first years of my daughter. I remember I actually asked the universe to tour less, and I think the universe heard me, and I think that COVID is because of me. So
that's your fault, basically.
It's because of me, but I was so much with my daughter and struggling the COVID that I actually didn't listen to new music, which is very bad. But that's the truth. I was having, until the moment we came back to play shows, it was a very weird era. I didn't even meet the band members for 15 months. Two are living in the north of the country, and we didn't even meet to rehearse. It was just, I forgot how it is to be in a band. So luckily we are back now, and I will be back to listen to music very soon.
Yeah, that's so true. My bandmates forgot how to play their instruments, actually.
Oh yeah. The first rehearsal that we did after a long time, it was a complete disaster. I mean, usually we say that we are rusty. Sometimes we take a period off after a tour to get some rest. This rehearsal, it was like, whoa. We really went home and were like, whoa, we are really bad.
What just happened?
Yeah, why did we come here? What did we want to say? What's happened? And and we even fight each other because it was a disaster. But eventually you remember how to do it, because it's like a muscle that you need to wake up, and eventually we came back, of course.
Yeah, also I think that in a band it's important to bond besides playing. So maybe after a year something is missing. I mean, people are not used to talk to each other face to face, so I think it's normal to miss something in a band, but it comes
definitely we were 15 months and you are still in this era of this saying, please keep your social distance, which is, just think about this sentence for a moment. What do you mean, keep your social distance? It's imagine kids that are growing up for a year keeping a social distance. This is not a good thing socially. Obviously, it's probably something that we had to do, but then meeting together and facing problems was also a disaster because of what you said, Lucille. It's true.
Yeah. But
we have a question, guys, for both of you. MS Random 749. What usually Kobi and Lucille listen in their daily life?
Lucille, please.
Yes.
I go to Google now.
You Google. Well, I listen to a lot of music, many different genres, so it's a bit hard to reply to this question, but mostly metal and classical music, because I'm also an opera singer. So I listen to a lot of opera and symphonic stuff.
Is it Italian opera like Puccini or Verdi?
Yeah. I sing Italian opera.
I really love both of them, obviously. Turandot, Tosca, La Traviata, La Bohème. It's wow.
They're my favorite.
Wow. Puccini is like, wow. I mean, I also liked very much Pavarotti, of course. When Pavarotti sang Pagliacci, which is not Verdi and not Puccini, but when he sings I can always shed a tear because this is like a heartbreaking aria, and the pathos of opera is timeless.
Yeah, I also believe that Verdi is the first metal composer. In Requiem,
Nabucco.
The beginning of Nabucco is
Yes. It's really metal. It's true. It's really metal. I believe so. And
what?
and the quartet. There is the famous quartet in I don't know if it's Rigoletto or La Traviata.
Rigoletto.
Wow, it's I don't know. It's opera is really amazing. To answer the question, I wasn't listening to opera lately. I was listening more to Greek style Robertico, because Robertico is very rebellious. It's like, not musically, but the message of Robertico. It's like punk. It's like metal, and I really love Robertico music. I was listening to a Greek singer called Sotiria Bello.
Oh, okay.
The very old one, and
yes.
And I really love Greek music because, of course, I'm Middle Eastern. I have 25% of Salonika in my blood. But I love the harmonies, the way they always use this tirza in the harmony voices, and the way they, I don't know, it's a music that touches my heart, like Italian opera. But the recent era was with Rebettica music.
That's interesting. I don't know this type of music, but in the previous album, we made a cover of Italian folk song. We know that, in metal bands, they usually do covers of folk songs, or, northern folk songs, Scandinavian and so on. And we chose a song from the south of Italy, a region called Puglia. And it's in a funny language because it's Greeku. It's Greek and the dialect of that region, because it was Magna Grecia. And also the sound is a bit, I wouldn't say Middle Eastern, but a bit Greek, It's a traditional song from the south of Italy. And that's really interesting, the melting of the cultures over there.
I'm really interested to hear it. I always like these fusions of languages and history, and can't wait to hear it. It sounds really good.
Yeah.
And
also, if you're mentioning it, so you asked about Rebetiko. Rebetiko was created when, if you go back through history, so in World War I, Turkey and Greece, they were fighting each other, and at the end of the war, they exchanged populations. So 1 million Greeks who lived in a Turkish territory had to go all the way back to Turkey. Now, imagine that people that had to go all the way to Turkey, they were also a little bit Turkish, because they were living in a Turkish regime and society. So they were originally Greeks, but with Turkish mentality. So when they went back to Greece, Greek didn't really accepted them because they were different in a way. Yeah. They were Greeks, but they were completely different. Imagine if Italian would live centuries in Greek. They would be Italians, but they would also be a little bit Greek.
Yeah.
So being rejected, having a Turkish mentality, and being Greeks, being persecuted and being like a second class in their own motherland, that's when they started to play Rebetiko as a rebellion music about their situation, about poverty, about and bouzouki. The instrument bouzouki was illegal. Police used to come to tavernas where the people was playing the bouzouki guitar, were replaying it with Orphaned Land, and the police used to break it. They used to take it, and they used to arrest the people who sang Rebetiko. Today, Greece acknowledge Robertico as one of the nation's music styles and everything. But they had to come from all the way down up until being acknowledged by the Greeks. And also one of the most famous and founders of Robertica, she was a female Jewish singer back in the days. So it's very interesting to see how music sometimes born from poverty, desperation, and telling the reality. Opera was in a way the same thing, telling stories about life. And it's always interesting to see the story behind. And this is what fascinates me, Nick, about Robertico so much. It's because it's a human story. It was created from you know, sadness and desperation and poverty, and it's an amazing style.
Yeah, I know. I don't know, Lucille, if you know Vinicio Capocella.
Sí. Yeah.
We are English here.
See. Yeah, also he's playing some Robertico. I don't know if you.
I didn't know that.
He last, because I couldn't remember. I was taking Google, and the last album was Robertico Gymnastas. So I know because he came a few years ago here in Dublin and played these songs. And it was great.
Is it in Greek or in Italian?
In it, some Greek, some Italian, and he had 8 people in his band. Was Bouzouki, Baglamas. You know Baglamas, the smallest Bouzouki. Yeah.
Of course. So, Bouzouki is coming from Baglama. So it's it's a child of Baglama.
Yeah. You know Baglama, Lucille?
No.
No?
I'm really at loss here.
It's a Turkish it's a Turkish instrument that Nick will show, and the bouzouki came from Baglama originally.
Yeah.
Hey Nick, play something, please.
No, I can't. I'm trying, but no.
Play.
I wish.
We have a secret musician there.
Ah, okay. I didn't know that was its name.
Yeah.
Amazing. Is it four double strings or 3?
4.
4. Right. It's the modern way of Baglama, because originally it was 3. Yeah.
So we are a lot of discussing folk, Easter,
so you have to check Kobi. Sorry, you have to check Vinicio Capocella. He plays also a bit. I have a question of Ms. Random. What would you guys suggest to new bands to promote music, especially today, that is harder and harder to find a spot? Lucille, first.
Maybe Kobi should go first because he's much more expert than me.
There's no formula that I can reveal here. All I can say is that, I will tell you a story. We are doing music in Israel and the world for 30 years. And we have pop artists that started just a year before us, and they are much more successful than we do. I've just said in this chat that baby metal is more famous than Orphaned Land. So what I would suggest is that you should make music that you should be proud of. You should be proud of it. And you should feel that it represents your soul and your heritage and your point of view about life, about maybe the place that you live, maybe about what are your thoughts. And I'm happy with Orphaned Land because it represents my spirit and my soul and what I think. It doesn't matter if 10 people are listening to it. We played shows in front of 20 people, and last week we played a show in front of 2,500 people. In both cases, we played the show because 20 people or 2,500 people doesn't matter. You just need to be loyal to what you feel, and you should do your music, and you should feel proud of it. And if you're proud of it, you did the right thing. That's all I can suggest.
Cool.
That's really cool.
Lucie, you have to add something?
Well, yeah, my my advice, well, not really an advice, but I think that nowadays it's really important to use social networks as a way of promotion. So learn how to use them and, find the right ways to find the right people that love your music, because there is someone out there that is gonna like it. So you just have to go find all the channels possible to connect with them. And also you are talking to people. So make sure you respect them, talk to them, reply to them. And I think that's the best way to, connect with.
Yeah. It's a full-time job to promote your band nowadays.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you have all this social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything, so full-time job.
Yeah, it's true. The concert that we did last week, we also streamed it. Fans who wanted to join, and yeah, it's important, of course, to be in touch with people and to. It's true. Lucille is right.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Great. So I'm wondering, we are having so many fewer questions. We have questions. So Lucille, do you have any questions for Kobi?
Oh my God.
Now is the time, the opportunity to ask things you wanted to ask.
Oh, let me think.
I'm waiting.
Google it.
I have to do a good one. Well, as a singer, I would ask like technical questions, but maybe they are a bit boring. Well, do you practice every day? Have you studied like classical trained or?
Okay, so I've never studied anything. I am what we call autodidact.
Okay.
And but the way I learned how to sing is that I used to listen to a lot of singers. I used to think how they perform. For example, if when I connected with Arabian music, I obviously I'm Israeli. Israelis and Arabs are connected in some biological ways.
Yeah.
But my grandparents came from the Balkan area. I didn't have any Arabian, blood, not at least for the last generations. When I used to listen to Arab singers, I tried to figure out how they sing and how they feel, because there's a lot of feeling in the Arab way of singing. It's not linear like opera. It's not half tones. Sometimes it's not linear. It's more round. So it's so it's not ta ta ta. It's more and I used to figure out and think a lot about the difference. What is technique? What is feeling combined? And I always wanted to learn both. And I did it by myself without learning any technique or theory, just by listening to many singers and trying to ask myself how they think or where they act and sing. So it was always fascinating to listen to Pavarotti or Arabian singers, and because everyone has its own magic, and that's, I think that with Orphaned Land I have succeeded to sing in many ways. I don't have a one guideline of singing, and that's how I sound. I have a lot of, it's like I have these 5 singers that I hold within myself, and it's only because I used to listen to a lot of musicians, and still is listen to a lot of musicians and ask myself and try to realize how they work and where they bring it from. So it's a very abstract answer.
No, that's really interesting, actually, because well, that's a bit of a funny thing. Italian opera is really strict, So when you study opera, they say you are just gonna sound like this, and that's it. But I found really, really fascinating the work that you do on yourself, and I think that every singer should do it, because our voice is a wonderful instrument, and it can sound in many different ways. You just have to find your own, and that's great. Thank you. Thank you for the answer.
Of course, of course. I was wondering, since we both love Italian opera, who would you prefer from the three tenors? I mean, let's say Pavarotti or Domingo. Which one do you prefer?
I prefer Domingo.
Domingo,
yeah, because he has a very dark tenor voice, and
right.
I love that vibe.
Yeah, I prefer Pavarotti, for example, even though that they say that technically Domingo is better. And it's interesting that the reason that you said that he has a darker voice. That's interesting. And both of them are so great. I would prefer Pavarotti maybe because I find him a little bit maybe more emotional. I don't know. The tears are coming to my eyes easier with Pavarotti's performance, maybe of Pagliacci, precisely. But
well,
it
depends. Like the sound of a voice, it's different for everyone that listens. So
yeah. It's a very tough competition. That's why I was wondering. Yeah. They're both amazing. See, I have a question here.
Yes.
Yeah, Aevum from the other side, Richard is typing something.
Okay, Kobi, have you ever considered to write and sing a song in French, German, Spanish, or other world languages?
I would say Greek also. Greek.
And Greek. It's a very good question because languages are fascinating, but I'm always afraid that I will not be able to perform and execute in a good way. One of the other styles, I mean, we spoke about Italian opera and we spoke about Greek Robertico. One of the other music styles that I really love is the Andalusian Spanish flamenco. Flamenco freaks me out in ways that I can break plates on my head because it has a lot of passion in it, and the way they yell and spit coming out of their mouth when they sing it. And I always challenged myself to sing everything that I can, and flamenco is something that I have to know Spanish to sing it. And so I would say that I will not have the courage to take language who is not, I mean, rather, let's say, I sometimes sing a little bit in English, obviously, and Arabic, obviously. And I don't know, I sing in Turkish every once in a while. So I dare to try and do these things. But to write a complete song in French, I will not dare to do it because I'm not French, fortunately. And I would not know the language and the mimics of the
feeling
of the words and the wisdom, because languages has wisdoms in it. Apart from knowing to speak the language, there are games of words and slang and I don't know, expressions that are used for some cases. And I will, that they say that one of the Jewish languages in the past was Yiddish, and in Yiddish they have the ability to describe a complete situation in one word. And I don't even know Yiddish, so I will not dare to do it. Unless I will go and live in this country and I will know the language perfectly, then I might do it. And of course, I will have accent. I also have accent when I sing in English. But it works in a way because English is an international language. and I don't know, maybe it makes my English a little bit Middle Eastern, which is working well with the music. But I will not do it because I'm afraid to touch it. That will be my final answer, and I will always be sad because of flamenco first, but the rest as well.
Clear and understandable point. We had a comment. We already spoke about your 30th anniversary, but we never asked the question of Panagiotis if there would be a possibility of a live performance in Greece combining with Greek folk and Easter sound with Orphaned music. Would be a great event.
That's a great idea, and no, I'm waiting for Greek promoters to invite us to play in Greece. So maybe if you are in these chats or forums or pages of Greek promoters, just tell them to bring Orphaned Land to Greece, because obviously we love bouzoukis, we play bouzouki. Bouzouki is a part of our music. Greek mythology and philosophy is a part of our concepts. And
you are part of Greek.
Yeah, and I have Greek blood in me. So yes. Please bring us to Greece in any way that you can. And we want to pull off a concert in Greece as soon as possible. Really, it's something that we didn't do for years. And I really want to do it.
Great. Okay. Very cool. So anyone has last questions before we are rounding up? Any burning?
Anything? No?
Yeah. And Nick, do you have...
Silent?
I love Greek mythology, really. That you were talking about your concept about Plato and so on. That was amazing.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
Thank you. I think that I always find similarity, you know, between Greece and Italy in many ways, obviously because of history, ancient Greek and Romans, of course. I was recently in, I told Nick before the podcast started, I had a vacation in an island called Lefkada.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And Lefkada was also ruled by Italy for many years. And it still has a lot of Greek-Italian character in it. And so, so Greece and Italy are always, I find similarities and it's interesting to always to wonder about it.
Yeah.
We are neighbors.
We are, yeah. I was going to say cousins, but
yes, cousins.
Yeah.
Correct.
Great.
Cool.
So no, nothing. So we want to thank our viewers for watching, sharing the event, and participating with all your questions. Don't forget to subscribe. And we want to thank Kobi for taking the time tonight to tell us more about being 30 years in Orphaned Land, how it all started, how it all developed, and so on. And follow our group, and we will post all links below in the group and under the stream. And we want to thank as well our friend and our surprise guest for tonight, Lucille from Aevum, which is a fantastic band as well. Check the channel out to see the interview with them, and we'll post also all the links on our group. So we are passing the word to Kobi and Lucille so they can round it up.
So
thank you,
for having
all in
after you, Lucille.
Okay, thank you for having me, for inviting me tonight. That was really great. As I said, a real honor to be here with you and Kobi. Thank you, guys, and good luck. Keep going.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Same thing. Thanks for having me. It was great to spend this evening with you all in Dublin. And Lucille, I guess you are in Italy somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm
in Torino.
I wish you all to be COVID-free, as we are in Israel, and it's coming to you very soon. And I hope that we could have a beer somewhere, in a nice concert of metal music or opera or Robertico or flamenco. Any kind of these things would be great. please send me things. Lucille, please send me the song when it's released.
Yeah, of course.
And Nick, this Italian Greek Robertico, it's very interesting.
Yes.
I'm a music explorer, so
Good.
let
I
me.
will send you the link.
And again, thanks for having me and for listening to the stories and my answers, and it's been really great. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Have you,
Enjoy.
Kobi. Night, night.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.